Trinisha Cottrell, and welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we are going to talk about making better decisions. But before we get started, if you're new here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more uplifting and empowering content like this. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. Okay, so lately I'm just gonna be real and transparent in this whole situation, but I have really been trying to figure out what the next move is gonna be, and I've been waiting on God. And so if you're like me, you get a little impatient sometimes. So like God been working on my patience for a while, and every time I be like, oh, I'm patient, I'll be patient in most areas, and then there will be another area where I'm not as patient as I should be. And so I'll be like, okay, God, you got me to do this, this, and this. What's next? And God will be like, oh, you got to do this thing. Or he won't say anything. And I'll be like, okay, like, I don't know what I'm doing right now. And then, of course, there's always this pastor that comes out of nowhere that's like, do the last thing that God told you to do until you get further instruction. And I'm like, that's really good advice, for real. But every single time I ask and I'm in the waiting stage, that's the advice that I always hear. And it made me think about what I was reading this morning in First Corinthians chapter 2. I was about to say chapter 2nd. Listen, we know it was 2, right? And so as I was reading it, it was talking about how people gain wisdom from God. Like, there's people in the world who are super intelligent, who may be super smart, but when you know God, when God gives you the secrets of his mystery, you have so much more information than you would if you were the smartest person in the world. And I'm sorry I'm talking like this. I had stopped wearing my top aligners, and someone warned me and said, hey, if you stop wearing your top aligners, if you do this, if you bite your nails, if you have any other like habits that have to do with your teeth, you can end up messing up your teeth. And it was so, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to like be working to spend money on something that I'm trying to get to become better and then to mess it up for myself. So I was like, I went to go put them in and they were kind of tight. And I was like, okay, that means that I will need to continuously wear these when I sleep. And so I didn't wear them last night, so I've been wearing them today. That's why I'm talking all weird. So excuse my, extra strong lisp in this video. But listen, I gotta make sure that this is taken care of because, listen, when you be putting when you put coins towards something, when you invest in yourself, you really have to take it personally. You really have to take it seriously. Like when I do something intentionally to better myself, I want to make sure that I am doing it well. And I hope that you will too. I hope that you take yourself seriously because that's how other people around you take you seriously. If I was like, oh, I don't care, I paid for it, I did it, it's over, I'm not gonna worry about it. Everybody else would be like, okay, we don't care about your TV either. If you just dress however, and I hate to put this as an example, but when you dress good, you feel amazing. Like it's something about putting on a great outfit or putting together your hair, or like combing or brushing your hair, or getting the edges on point or whatever you got to do, right? Whenever you do that for yourself, you take that time out, it really does make you feel better. And so I want everyone who's out here in this world to feel their best. If there is something that you're doing that, or something about your body, your hair, your skin that you don't like, I want you to take the time, if your budget of, or even if your budget doesn't prevent it, I need you to go out and research what you have to do to take better care of your skin. If you are breaking out all the time, if you have something wrong with your teeth, if you have, I don't know, something, if you want thicker eyebrows, if you want thicker, longer hair, if you want to take better care of your skin and you want it to be more moisturized and more soft, then the things that you have to do, you can always look it up on Google. You can always look it up on YouTube and University. And so it's important for you to take you seriously, for you to take that time necessary to better yourself. And so as I was reading First Corinthians 2 earlier, it started talking about how people can become wise and you get the wisdom from God. When you spend that time with God, he starts to, and that's number one. Number one is wisdom. This wisdom, you will get it from God. God will allow you to be able to see, okay, I'm getting I'm stuck in this area. I don't know what to do with XYZ. And when you seek after God, when you go to read your Bible, when you talk to certain people in your life, God will make sure that He gets the answer to you. You just have to be patient for it. And I know some people are saying, well, I have this option for a job yesterday, and I prayed to God, and He hasn't told me whether I should accept it or not. If God hasn't told you to accept it, that might be your answer right there. If God hasn't told you yes to this guy that you like, that might be your answer right there. If God hasn't told you yes to whatever opportunity it is in your life, no matter what it seems like, if God isn't in it, I promise you don't want it. I used to make decisions based off of the things that I thought were going to make me feel better. And I don't know about you, but I really was feeling like, okay, well, this will benefit my life. If I did this, then this will make things better. And the whole time I was missing the most important ingredient, which was God, which was wisdom. And when you're gaining knowledge, you have to make sure that you're actually utilizing that knowledge that you're getting. So as you're out here trying to better yourself and you're looking up, okay, I need to find a good cleanser, I need a good toner, and I need some sort of moisturizing agent to put on my skin, like whether it's um, I always say this wrong, but I think it's hyaluronic acid or whatever, whether it's that vitamin C, whatever it is that you think that your skin might be missing, and be very careful. Check with the dermatologist first. Check all the boxes before you just jump out and put something in your hair, on your skin, in your body. Please. Like, I feel like I need to say that because there's a lot of people that will watch this video, that will watch other videos and say, okay, well, hyaluronic acid works for you, or putting a ton of vitamin C on your face works for you, and a ton of vitamin C for another person may make them break out a lot. So you have to figure out what works for your skin and check with your dermatologist so that they can make sure that it's something that's not going to affect your body in a negative way, especially when it comes to food, especially when it comes to supplements, and especially when it comes to your hair. Like, don't be putting everything in there. Like, I got this conditioner because it's cheaper and because I was trying to be a cheapskate, right? I bought this conditioner thinking that it was going to be good. And I was like, I'm going to put this in my hair. I'm going to use this since I wash my hair like once a week, twice a week, and it's going to be good. The conditioner contained alcohol. I don't know if y'all know this, but the sisters out there, y'all might know. But alcohol dries out your hair. And we need as much moisture as possible, especially when you're curly haired sister like me. So with all the coils, with all the curls, it doesn't retain a lot of moisture. My hair personally doesn't retain a lot of moisture. So me putting alcohol in my hair, sucking more moisture out, is gonna cause my ends to split. It's gonna cause my hair to be dry, and it's gonna cause breakage. That is not healthy for my hair. Now, I might have somebody else on the other end, one of my other sisters from another mister, who might be out here with straighter hair or something like that, and they might be able to use this conditioner with alcohol because their hair is always constantly oily. So you have to make sure you do your research and you check to make sure it's something that works for you and not just something that looks good. Also, the next key tip is going to be obedience. I don't like hearing this, and I know you don't like hearing this, but the most important thing for you to do when you are trying to make better decisions is to be obedient to God. I had to let that sit because it hurts. It hurts in here sometimes when I be thinking about the stuff that God be wanting me to do. I'd be like, God, you really want me to do this, this, and this? And I be feeling so uncomfortable, but it's always necessary. Every time God tells me to do something, it helps me become a better person. But at the time when I'm in it, ooh, it feels so horrible. It feels so uncomfortable. I don't want to say horrible. It just feels uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh, I got to go stand up in front of like 200 people. Oh, I got to go in this area and help this situation when I really wanted to go home and go to sleep. And I'm just being real. And sometimes I always love helping people, but sometimes God will say, do something in the most craziest moment of the day, craziest moment in your life. And you'll be like, give this person $200. I need $200, or something like that. And the whole time God's like, I didn't ask you what you had. I asked you to do this in obedience because I'm going to help you. And the whole time you're thinking you got to be stuck in a situation when God's saying, I got you. So when you are obedient to God, it will help you make a better choice because it will become abundantly clear what it is that God wants for you to do. It'll become abundantly clear that that decision for that person is not the right decision. For that job is not the right decision. For you going to go get a house maybe right now might not be the right decision. But when you are obedient to God, when you're listening for his guidance, when you're using that wisdom, gaining that knowledge and utilizing that to make wisdom, you make better choices. The third key is opportunity. You cannot make any decisions with no opportunities. Like, yes, God will create opportunities for you, but you have to actually put in that work. Like you gaining that knowledge, like you taking that course, like you going to go study, to read books, to find material, to learn more about the skill that you want to have in your life. If you're saying you want to go be a UI UX designer, maybe go to Course Careers. Go figure out what you need to do to be able to determine the skills that you need to make opportunities available. God may give you an opportunity, but he's going to train you in the off season. When you're waiting, he's going to have you help this person speak in front of people if you're trying to become a public speaker and that's what he wants for you. But you have to actually put in that work. You have to actually, the work that you're putting in creates opportunities for you. Somebody can't give you a job if you have no experience. They can only give you a job if you look like you are qualified, if you look like you are competent to be able to implement these skills in this job. If you look like you can be successful, they will give you opportunities. The more that you're obedient to God, the more that you're focused on him, the more that you seek out to learn more skills on the career that you want, is the more opportunities that God can give you. You can say, God, why do you want me to learn about blah? And God's like, I didn't ask you that. I just told you to go learn about this thing. You go to learn about it, and the whole time God was setting you up for a come up. He was trying to level you up in life, but you had to be able to learn those things in order for that opportunity to come to you. And the last and final thing is focus. Sometimes we can't make better decisions because we lose focus on what's most important. We get so worried about coveting, we get so worried about looking out at what everybody else is doing, so worried about the things that we don't need to be worried about, focusing on 5 different things when God said do this one thing, that we lose focus and it ends up making that good decision, good opportunity go away. We have missed the best opportunity we could have possibly had because we stood in our own way. When you focus on only making a decision that you feel like is beneficial for you in the moment and not long term, is always going to trip you up. You have to be willing to say, okay, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to exhibit the fruits of the Spirit. I'm going to do the things necessary to be able to gain the knowledge, to be able to be obedient, to be able to have the wisdom that God has given me so that I can stay focused on what it is I need to do. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all that you desire will be given unto you, because your desires will be his desires. When you're obedient to God, you're doing everything that it is that he wants for you to do. And so that in turn makes you make better choices in your life. With God, you cannot fail. I promise you that. God is the type of God that when he creates an opportunity, people will look at you and be like, how in the world did you get to be a part of that? How in the world did you get to be at this place or help this person? Or how is it that you work as a teacher and you can pay for all of these things and go on trips every year, like several trips? And it's because God provided an opportunity for you to do that. You are a good steward of your finances. You invested in the stock or whatever else it is that God told you to do. And I mean God for real, not like you felt it in your spirit because you thought it was going to benefit you and you said, oh, God told me this was my husband. Like, no, listen. Really use discernment and lean on God. Know that God's choices for you are not always going to be your choices for yourself, because he can see way past the point that you can see. You can see, what is it that the pastor always says, you can see to the corner, but God can see around it. Like, sometimes we really be like, oh, this looks good. I'm going to make 100K at this job. Let me go work here. And the job goes out of business in 6 months. When God told you to go be a janitor at the other building because the CEO was going to see your work ethic and then promote you to another position within 3 months. So you were going to be CEO of a company in 3 months from being a janitor, a story that only can be written by God. But you doubted. You wanted to be disobedient. You only saw what you saw. So you chose to not trust God. Trust God, and you will always make the best decision that you could possibly make in your entire life. With God, you can't lose. If he is for you, he's more than the whole world against you. So trust that. And I know it spells wolf, but it's more serious than that. It's about obedience. It's about wisdom. It's about opportunity, and it's about focus. You have to make sure that you stay focused and know that God got you. You got this. And remember to love yourself. And new video Friday. So stay tuned for that. And also in this time period from Monday to Friday, definitely focus on ways to make a better decision. Write down the things that you are going to start doing, the knowledge that you're gaining, start implementing that this week. So when I see you on Friday and we do a check in, we'll know that we're on the same track. We'll hold each other accountable. I'm putting it out there so then that way I can't renege. I can't be like, oh, did I really say? Like, no, I really truly do want to do better. And I want you all to do better as well. So continue to stay focused on him because he got you and you got this. All right. Remember to love yourself. Bye.